Welcome, everyone, to the third episode of Geeks of the Roundtable. I am one of your hosts, Ren, and today with me, of course, my co-host in this very special episode because it's his birthday, my partner in crime, Zach Pope. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. We're both March babies. It's exciting. Obviously not that much movie news, but we do have some fun concepts to kind of talk about, and I'm just excited to be doing this once again.
Yeah, same here, dude. It's been a boring couple of days, I'd say. Not much to talk about, not much to do, except playing video games. And I'm still playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. How about you? What are you playing?
So I actually just beat Doom Eternal, which was really cool. I have a back catalog of games. So right now I'm going through Death Stranding. Like, I told myself I need to put like 3-4 hours, maybe a day into it because I can't do anything else. I said I need to beat this game before the Final Fantasy VII remake comes out. And if I don't, then I can't buy it. Because I'm like, I need to beat this game. So I'm halfway through it right now. But, man, it is such a difficult game to binge. Like, I love the world, the atmosphere, the characters. But, God, delivering packages gets so freaking boring, man. Like, I can't express it enough. Like, yesterday, like, I was delivering a package. And for anyone who's played the game, they've seen the BTs that you can't see. So I'm driving. I'm like, okay, I'm going to drive away. Nope. The thing grabs me, throws me out of the car. And I said, fuck this. I'm reloading the screen. So I reloaded my save. And I drove I literally took a whole 20-minute detour because I refused to go through that area. I was just like, I'm not dealing with them. I'll just listen to a podcast, take the long way, get there, take the long way back. So it's fun. But I did beat Doom Eternal. I loved it. And right now I'm probably going to go through Luigi's Mansion 3 as well as playing Death Stranding because I still have that to play. I've had it for a year and I haven't played it at all. Like, I literally
a year already?
I think so. Yeah, I've had it for quite a while, man. I literally have a stack of games that I need to beat. Yeah. Outer Worlds is another one I need to beat. I did beat Pokemon Sword, so that's good. I did beat that. Thank God.
I'm doing Pokemon Shield, so you and I can trade.
See, there you go. We need to add each other.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was Spawn just came in Mortal Kombat, so I've been playing him a bit.
Oh, I gotta play that.
Dude, the thing with Mortal Kombat, he's not my type of character because I play with the more agile, faster character. He's a big character, but man, his moveset and just the fact that they got the voice, everything's just perfect about him. His fatalities are awesome. He has one move though in particular where he just goes up in the air and all these guns come out of his freaking cape and just start shooting. And I'm like, this is amazing. So they did such a good job with him in there. But you know what? This is, again, we're kind of thriving. We get to catch up on video games. I mean, this is nice for once. It sucks because more movies are getting delayed, but we will talk about that, man.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Have you watched any movies lately?
Yesterday, and I just uploaded this review to my channel to anyone who might be watching.
Way back.
Yeah, I saw The Way Back.
What do you think?
I really like that movie.
Same, dude. Gavin O'Connor is literally the most underappreciated director in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's underappreciated. And what did I watch? I watched The Banker as well.
Oh, that was good. I liked it.
I wasn't a big fan of that one. It's not bad. It's not awful, but
that's how I felt.
It's very boring at points. It doesn't.
You know what I felt? It reminded me of a cheaper Green Book.
Yes.
That's what it made me feel. I liked Green Book a lot. In fact, I kind of loved Green Book, but it felt like it did the exact same thing Green Book did, just not as well. You know what I mean? The way that it handled race, all that sorts of stuff. Not bad, just not amazing, which it should have been.
Yeah, it was competent. There's not any glaring issues I have with The Banker, but at the very best, it's a competent made film.
I think the movie would have been better as a miniseries, to be honest.
I agree.
I think it rushed through so much that you got bored because it just felt repetitive in its nature. You know what I did finally finish, though, was The Outsider. Have you heard about this on HBO?
I know about it, but I don't. I know it stars Jason Bateman, and Ben Mendelsohn.
And Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Too.
but that's really it. That's all I know about it.
So this is the concept, because this is what sold me on because I didn't know what it was about until I heard the concept. So the concept is, so Jason Bateman is like a beloved teacher, coach in this small town, and the police come to one of his baseball games and arrest him on the scene, saying that he had brutally murdered, like tore apart a child. And brutally murdered and left him for dead. And they have evidence. Cameras have him murdering this kid. People have seen him murder this kid. But the crazy thing about this is when this event happened, which was like 2 days before the baseball game, 2 days before that, he was in another 2 states far, far away. And he was on camera on the news at a teacher conference. And his DNA is there. So it's, what is this? Why are there 2 versions of him? And it starts figuring out that there's more murders like this, where there was 2 different things, and the outsider is that. What is this thing that is copycatting other people, dude? It's 10 episodes. It's supposed to be a limited series, but I think they're gonna do another season. So I've read that Stephen King has like 2 ideas for what he wants to do with the second season.
Of course, this is Stephen King. Why am I not surprised?
It's one of his like newer novels. It came out like 2 years ago, and I guess HBO snatched it up. But so I really liked. I like one of his ideas a lot. The other idea I think is good, but I think takes away from this season. So what I'm hoping is that they go with the second idea, and if they want to intertwine the other one, they can. But I don't want them to. I'd rather them do this other idea, which I don't want to get into because I do. Yeah. You guys should watch The Outsider. It is a very hard binge though, because the first 3 episodes are pretty much a masterpiece, like legitimately a masterpiece. Like they're shocking. Go into the show not knowing anything, because there are like, especially in episode 2 alone, your jaw drops within the first 20 minutes, like from one event. And then 4 through 7, it deals a lot with the mythology of like what this thing is and trying to get like pretty much making you believe in it. And then it's pretty slow in that whole entirety. I think they could have literally made it 2 episodes going over all that. And then 8 through 10 though, that's when shit starts to hit the fan again. But it's very subtle in its approach. Like it's not. I know I was talking to one of my friends who thought the ending was a little bit underwhelming, but I thought the ending, I can get why he thought that, but it was very subtle, and it felt subtle in the approach because the whole show is like that. It's not like It Chapter 2 where fucking Pennywise becomes a giant fucking thing, which I loved. I loved
Me too.
I thought it was the most, literally, like, I acclaim Warner Brothers for going and saying, hey, we're gonna make our own Avengers Endgame in this thing, which they did. They went full out and did it. So but definitely go check out The Outsiders. So now I can finally move on to Better Call Saul. I can finally catch up on this season. But yeah, man, I love these weird things. I love weird things like that.
All right, before we get to our first topic, which is a very special topic, the first one of the kind we're doing in this show, I have not something I have been watching, but now that Disney Plus is available here on the UK, even though I've had it since the Americans have it, I gotta please urge to anyone that might be watching this on YouTube, listening to this on Spotify, watch Togo. Do not sleep on Togo. It came out on the same week. It came out on the same weekend as Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and it's the better Disney movie out of the 2. I'm just gonna say that. This film should have never gone to a streaming service. It's really fucking great.
This is the first time you'll hear Ren say that a dog movie is better than a Star Wars film.
Well, I mean, if you go to the prequels, I'll say it again.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've actually tried watching Togo, but one of my dogs, anytime he sees a dog or hears a dog on screen, he just starts barking. It will not stop. So I cannot watch the movie with him around. And then anytime he hears me turn it on, all I hear is him running up the stairs and like going back to barking. So I like what I saw so far in it. I love Willem Dafoe. Did you see Call of the Wild? I don't remember.
I did. Yeah.
So I'm guessing Togo's the better movie out of those.
Togo's a better movie, yeah, for sure. But I like Call of the Wild. I liked it too. I was surprised. I went in thinking, oh god. Do you know what's funny though? And I don't know what happens in Togo. So if this happens, if a dog dies in a movie and it doesn't feel justified, like they just killed it for no reason, it goes down on my rating. So, or like in Animals. Did you see The Hunt? Yeah, the Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, the pig part went down on my rating. Like, you don't kill a pig in front of me. Like, that pig did not need to die.
Yeah. No animals need to die, only humans.
Yeah, straight up. But no, I need to see Togo.
Yeah, Togo's really good. So that's my full recommendation for now. And now we're going to get into our topics. And Zach, we have a very special first topic to address today because I asked on Twitter for people to ask us questions. And we got quite a few.
Yeah, I like these.
So I think we're going to repeat fan questions every once in a while. Not every episode, but keep it a few episodes.
Especially right now. Right now.
To make it something special. So our first few questions come from Jaron Buckendall, our very good friend. We've collabed with him, each of us.
So funny, dude. So funny.
And the first question, the funniest out of us all, I gotta say.
Honestly, dude, I watch his intros.
The on me are big. Yeah.
Love his intros.
He's amazing. And the link to his channel will be in the description of the YouTube video if you want to check him out, guys. So his first question is, what's an obscure or hidden gem film more people need to watch? Were you able to just choose one, or did you do it?
No way.
I got two.
Okay, so say yours first.
Okay, I'm going to say one of them, then I'll pass on to you, and then I'll say the other one. Okay. This one, it's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It's directed by Takashi Miike. It's a Japanese horror film, so right there, the standards are high. And it's called Audition. Not many people have seen this film.
See, I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so basically, here's the premise. It's about this guy, and he's a widower. He lost his wife. So basically, through the help of his friend, he arranges for him to have an audition, like if you were going to a casting to be an actor on a movie. But it's not to be an actor in a movie. It's to be the new wife of this guy. And immediately as this one woman comes into the audition room, he falls in love. He chooses her. He doesn't care about anyone else. And then things start to get freaking demented is the word. Because it's a Japanese horror film. Right then and there, I couldn't even begin to explain to you.
It's called The Audition, correct? I might watch this today.
Just Audition.
Audition, okay. I need to see this. I literally need to see this.
It's so good. It's so creepy. I've seen this movie several times, and no matter how many times I watch it, the hairs on the back of my neck.
So, is it mentally, or is it mentally scary, or is it like physical, like jump scares and stuff?
That's the thing. It's both.
Oh, okay. I love that. That's my favorite.
But in terms of the physical horror, it's not gratuitous. The film earns it. It makes sense within the story. And weirdly enough, you also find yourself attracted to this woman despite how crazy she is.
Okay, I'm down for that. Let's go to mine. Sticking in the international film. I don't know the director by heart, but it's The Hunt. I don't know if Mads Mikkelsen. This is one of the. So I watched this for the first time about, I think, a month ago, and it's been on my list to watch for years. But I filmed a video with the list talking about like best foreign films, which is not up yet. Which, spoilers, I don't even know if I should be saying that. I saw The Hunt, but whatever. The Hunt is one of those, and I mean, dude, I was in tears. Tears. But the ending, my God, the ending is the thing that like hit me hard. If you don't know what it is, it's pretty much about a guy who is a kindergarten teacher, and one of his little girls in his class decides to tell a white lie that he might have touched her.
Yeah.
This leads to his whole life being destroyed because he lives in a small town, and it's the thing I loved about it is the way that it shapes him. There's not one point in time where you're like, well, did he do it? Did he not do it? No, you fully understand that he did not do this. So you become just as frustrated as he is, which I'm happy that that's how they framed it. I think it's just very underrated. I think a lot of international films, are pretty much totally underrated when you talk about movies. So I really wanted to mention The Hunt and really put it out there. It's like $3.99. Go rent it, go watch it, and enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. It's haunting, really. Like, you feel super uncomfortable watching that film, but because the dude is innocent, he didn't do it. So that's one I really like as well. I watched it for the first time a few years ago, not when it came out, but like in 2016, maybe 17, something like that.
Good.
So I fully agree with your recommendation. Okay, my next one, my final one, is also another international film. It's from 2015. It's called Victoria. It's a German crime thriller directed by Sebastian Schipper. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it's basically, okay, so I cannot find confirmation either one way or the other, but supposedly this film is shot in one shot. It's not a 1917 thing. It's not a Birdman thing. Legend says it is entirely shot in one shot without cutting, which is amazing. But even if it isn't, it looks that way. So right then and there, it's amazing. The changes of color are beautiful. The cinematography of this film is mesmerizing. Basically, the simple premise, and I really want to keep it simple, it's this young Spanish woman who has moved to Berlin. And one night she goes partying and she gets involved with the wrong crowd. And then an adrenaline-fueled thriller that doesn't let you rest. The first time I saw it, I was completely sweating when the third act of this film began. You feel super anxious throughout this film. It's really, really good. The main actress is called Laia Costa. I know she was in Life Itself, which is a movie I really hated.
I hate that movie too.
But I remember her being in something else. No, she wasn't in anything else. Okay, so that's my second recommendation. They speak German, but they also speak English a lot in this film. It's 2 hours and 20, and though that might seem like a lot, it's completely worth it. And the film is also like set in one night.
Okay, I love it. The one shot take. You got me won over. Now I want to check it out. For me, I mean, we could really go back and forth on like what obscure hidden gem people need to watch. The one that I'm going to stick with, and maybe it's not as, I would say maybe it's not as a hidden gem to most like film fanatics, but I think when it goes to the overall public eye, I really want to put out Green Room out there. It's on Netflix right now in the United States, and a lot of my coworkers always ask me, what movie should I watch? What movie should I watch? The first one I've been telling them to watch is Green Room. And every single time I think like I'll get a text in the middle of the night and I'll wake up to it, and it's just like, what the fuck did you make me watch? That was so bloody, gory, and it was just great. I'm like, I told you, it's so intense. I love Green Room. It's pretty much about a punk band that gets stuck in a neo-Nazi bar and they have to fight their way out.
Yeah,
you know, it's so good. I love it, and I think it's, when it comes to A24 movies, I feel like this is one that not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people stick around with the Moonlights and the Lobster, which I almost did the Lobster, but I feel like more people talk about it. Same with Ex Machina. Not enough people talk about this, and I want more people to talk about it. So go check out Green Room if you haven't yet. The director's a great director. He also did Blue Ruin, which is probably arguably even better. Maybe even a more obscure title, to be completely honest. But it's, you know, there's so many obscure hidden gem films out there. We could do a segment like this every single week. Just going over one. So maybe we could. I knight this question. Well, I don't know about you.
Yes, I knight this question. I knight all the fan questions we get. The fact that people send this question, I feel humbled.
I agree.
All right. So the second question, do you want to read this one, Zach?
Yeah, and I'll start with it because I really only have one like big longest movie. So the next question from Jared is longest movie marathon we've ever done. For me, I mean, if we're talking about just like one sitting, like straight up one sitting, it's Harry Potter. I watched all of them in one, which is crazy. So when I was younger, I'd only seen up to 5, and then I never saw 6, 7, or Part 2. Just never saw them. But then the first Fantastic Beast was coming out. My friend told me, you gotta watch them, dude. You have to watch them all. So he surprised me and got the whole Blu-ray set, which didn't last long because then I bought the 4K set like literally like 2 months later. But whatever. But we legit, like, I sat down for the full entirety. I think I got up once to go get food, like obviously like to leave the house, go get food and come back. But it was a whole marathon, and I loved it. I loved sitting there. I was very much tired after that, but it was nice, like, watching it all and then going to see Fantastic Beasts after that, which I don't really like the first one. So I'm the minority. I like Crimes of Grindelwald a little bit more. I think Crimes of Grindelwald's top 5 Harry Potter films. Fuck you if you don't agree with me.
Hot take.
Okay, given though I've only seen all these movies like once or twice, besides Chamber of Secrets, Goblet of Fire, and Prisoner of Azkaban, I've seen those things like way too many times. I don't know why, but I've seen them so many times. So that's probably the longest movie of the marathon. The next one after that would probably be Star Wars, when my dad first showed me them for the first time. Or Terminator. He showed me all 1, 2, and 3 when I was at a very young age, when I shouldn't have. So that was fun. There's a lot of movie marathons. I even remember like being younger, my dad showing me all the Universal Monster movies, like when they were running on TV during Halloween time. But I don't know if I'd include that as a movie marathon in a sense. I don't really remember too much of it, but I definitely Harry Potter. What about you, man? I'm curious to hear yours.
Well, in terms of like you set up, like in one single sitting without getting out, without stopping, I mean, for bathroom breaks, of course, or getting food from the kitchen, I've done one, but I've done that one like 3 times. I did it once at a friend's house. I did it once. So when I was taking my bachelor's, we could like ask for the keys to these big auditoriums where classes would happen. But of course, we could ask for the keys when classes weren't happening during Christmas holiday or what. And then I did it once in my house as well. So of course I did the marathon of the original trilogy. I always do that, whether I'm alone or not. But this one that I'm talking about, I did it once in the auditorium, this big, gigantic screen, was the Lord of the Rings extended editions.
Dude, I've still never seen them. Not all of them. I've seen the first one, because Fellowship is still my favorite one. But I'm holding out because this year it's rumored they're all going to 4K. That's when I'm like, okay, when that set comes out, I'm going to buy it and watch all of them. Because... hot damn, I need to. But yeah, I've God, it sounds just so beautiful. That's awesome though. But
it takes a long time. It wasn't. So we started at 10 a.m. and we finished. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And the other time we started at 8 a.m. and we finished. So it was either 11 or midnight.
How long are they?
They are like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
And so would you say all of them add something?
I would say all of them add something.
And they're better? Do you think they're better than the original versions?
That's tough.
As a fan, do you think?
Yeah.
And then as a movie like critic?
Maybe I would say Fellowship is the one that adds the least. Like I enjoy seeing what is added in the extended edition, but I don't think the movie loses anything without those scenes in it. And I think the one that benefits the most, even though it is already my favorite without the extended edition, is Return of the King. Because that film I just can't get enough of.
And real fast, on the side, what do you think about the Hobbit films? Are there extended editions for the Hobbit films?
Yes, there are. I have never seen those, or if I have seen for the first.
How do you extend those? How?
I have no idea, but I'll say this. I enjoyed the first one.
Same. I love the first one.
I love Desolation of Smaug, even though I fucking hate the ending.
Dude, I hate
the ending of Desolation of Smaug. And what's the last one? Battle of the 5 Armies. That one is watchable because there's great action. The problem is that there isn't anything else.
So Desolation of Smaug, I think, is completely boring. I just can't get through it. It just totally feels like set up for what Battle of 5 Armies is. And then I think I've watched half of Battle of 5 Armies and said, I'm good. I love that first Hobbit film. It feels totally like the original Lord of the Rings. I wish Del Toro directed those movies, though. I really wish Del Toro directed those movies. I get why Peter Jackson did it, but I really think Del Toro's touch would have been so much different on all those films. And I still think those films I think it would have only been 2 if Del Toro stuck with it.
I agree.
So, I don't know, but that's a long movie marathon. Do you want to take the next question?
Yeah, I'll take the next one. The last one from Jared. It asks us, and I'm going to let you go first on this one because my answer might be, not if controversial is the right word, but we'll get to that. So his last question is, with new releases hitting VOD earlier, what's the price threshold you'd pay before it's too much?
I'm going to be honest. Okay, so like maybe I like that they're hitting VOD earlier, especially at this time, but I'm worried for what it could do for the future of the theater business and all that. And I know some people are like, well, it won't change, but it doesn't matter. So like, say for instance, I don't know, a film like Promising Young Woman. If they release it on VOD earlier, which I don't think they're going to, they pushed the film back. But if they were going to, and it never hit theaters, I feel like that would be a travesty to the movie, because there are people who want to see these independent films in theaters. There are people who are independent filmmakers who want to see their films in theaters, not just hit VOD. Now, if it's like it's in theater for like a month or two and then it hits VOD, okay. I guess I can deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go totally against it. But the price threshold, like so tomorrow, if they were announced Black Widow is going to be going to VOD, it would be very tough for me to say I don't want to watch that. Now, I'm going to be honest. If I wasn't a film critic, I wouldn't watch it. I'd wait for the theater experience.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I need content. That's content. I would have to pay for it. Now, how much would I pay? I don't know if I want to say, because if someone's watching this video and they're like, hey, they'll pay that much, I might put that up there. But if we're going honest, I already think $20. I think $20 is just perfect. Because usually when you watch a movie, it's two people. That's a date night right there. Done. Split the cost. Pay for the person. $20. That's fine. 48 hours, you get it. Cool. I do wish there was an option to buy it, though. Especially this early, especially like with Birds of Prey and the way back. Like, why can't I just buy them right now? You know what I mean? Like, just let me buy them. Invisible Man. Like, if they said I could buy Invisible Man for $30 right now, I would buy Invisible Man. Even though I know I'm going to buy it physically, I would just want to buy it that way I could watch it right now. I can't put down $20 to watch it again. So I guess $20 would be my much. Now, if we're talking Black Widow, maybe up it a lot more, I would probably pay. But I mean, you would have to legitimately, like, I would have to own that shit, like, not that. But I think it's detriment, because do you know how easy it is to pirate VOD movies? I'm sorry, but like, I know so many people. Like, one of my friends was like, oh, I watched Invisible Man. I'm like, oh, did you like pay? And they're like, I didn't pay. I'm like, well, you're the problem. You are the problem. Don't pay. But so yeah, that's my answer to that one. It's a very interesting time for sure.
Okay, so here's my answer. I have this thing, and I don't talk about it much because it really doesn't matter for anything. But when it comes to digital, and we always have this discussion on Twitter with a lot of people, you and I, because we prefer physical media, but a lot of people are going digital. And I'm like, I don't like to pay for something that I don't own. So like buying a movie on digital, I don't own that. I mean, it's a software, but it doesn't exist in my world. I can't touch it. I can't pick up that movie box or case. Yeah. If I buy something physical, it's here in my hand. I own it. So I have this thing against digital buys. So let's say something hits Netflix, or why do I pay for Netflix if I don't own those films? Well, because that's a collection. I'm not paying, say, $20 for a single film that doesn't physically exist.
Dude, I agree with you. This is why I like buying physical media more, because digital. Also, here's the thing. I want people to understand this. If like iTunes, if you buy movies through iTunes and they lose that license to a film, you lose it too. Just so you know, you lose it too. Same with video games. Like, if I buy digital games, I buy physical, it doesn't matter. I'll just buy whatever the good deal is. But I'll tell you this, there are many games that I wish I would have bought in the physical copy of instead of the digital. If anyone remembers the Scott Pilgrim video game that came out for the PS3, it was a beat-em-up fighter. You cannot buy it anywhere now. You can't even download it again. I had it for the PS3 and Xbox 360, and you can't buy it. You can't even re-download it. That's the issue with, like, digital stuff. So, sorry, I just wanted to throw my input.
No worries. So basically, in answering Jared's question, I'm not sure what my threshold would be, because if I'm buying a single movie, I'm not buying it digital at all. I'll wait for a physical release.
Okay,
You
so
know?
Ren, Black Widow, they announced Black Widow's coming out next Friday on VOD. How much are you going to buy it for?
I'll ask one of my flatmates to buy it, and then I'll watch it. But I'm not paying for it.
Fair enough.
Smart.
Fair enough,
If
my
it's
friend.
not my money, I'll pay for it.
I feel. All right, let's go to the next one. Rachel Wagner from Rachel Reviews. We love Rachel over here, and we're gonna take her question. What has been the hardest movie to see delayed, and what do you think is the best movie of 2020 so far? This is an excellent question.
It is. And you and
I'll
I are
let you-
going to have very different answers.
Yeah, well, especially since more movies are being delayed by the day.
Exactly.
And I guess I know one of our topics we were going to bring up is more movies being delayed, which I know we'll get to in a second, but I do want to ask you before we get into Rachel's question. What is the next movie you think will be delayed, and what do you think is going to be the actual big first movie to come out again?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So, because right now the next biggest movie is Artemis Fowl, and I have a feeling Disney has not taken that off because they're just going to throw it on Disney Plus.
Ooh.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Or it will be the first film to go back in theaters, but it won't do good. I mean, they already know they're cutting their losses with that movie for some reason. But yeah, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay, let me just check what are the big movies coming out that have not yet been delayed.
Okay.
Okay, so we got Tenet, and Tenet's sticking with it. Ghostbusters, I guess it's a possibility. Oh, we talked about this. I know which one is going to get delayed. Top Gun Maverick. I think it's the next.
Especially since Into the Heights got moved. Yeah.
I think that's the next one.
What about SpongeBob?
Is that a big movie?
Yeah, I would say it is.
I'm the wrong person to ask about SpongeBob.
Well, so I think Soul gets moved.
Okay.
I think Soul gets moved, especially after how bad Onward did at the box office due to the virus. I fully believe Onward would have done so much better if it wasn't for the virus.
Oh, for sure.
I know the marketing wasn't the best, but the amount of money it made, that's because of the virus too. A Pixar movie does not just make that. But I think you are right. I think Top Gun gets moved back. I think Soul gets moved back. Candyman?
Now I'm not even trying to make a joke or make fun of the movie, but do we count that as a big movie?
I would say so, yes.
Because it has this independent feel.
It has an independent feel, but it's a big enough property that I would say it is.
Okay.
So I'm going to be honest. I think Ghostbusters is the next big film, or Free Guy. Those are the two that I'm kind of going between. Now, if both of those get moved, Tenet's getting moved. 100% Tenet will get moved. And I think we see Jungle Cruise or Morbius being the next big film. But I don't think Sony will put Morbius out there first. One of these bigger studios like Disney or Warner Brothers are going to be the ones that go say, "Hey, we're going to try it. See how a film goes."
Okay.
So sucks, man. I really don't want Tenet to move. That's the one that I think.
Me neither.
Be super sad. I'm super excited for Top Gun, Free Guy. I think it's gonna be so good. I think Free Guy is gonna be awesome. Ghostbusters. If Ghostbusters moves, I'll be fucking sad. I'll be so sad. I'm already sad about Wonder Woman. Honestly, I felt more sad about Wonder Woman than I did Black Widow because I knew Black Widow was gonna get moved. I had some hope that Wonder Woman wasn't gonna move.
I agree with you, but I felt more sad for Black Widow because I'm more excited about that one. But I don't know, for some reason, the fact that they gave Wonder Woman a date not only gave me some assuredness, but I don't know, I feel like the August date is better for it for some reason. I don't know why I feel that way.
Do you know what time I think would have been perfect for this? I think December. I would have loved to see Wonder Woman go in December. But I think they looked at Dune. They don't want to move Dune. They want to cement Dune into that place to be kind of the Star Wars for this year. I'm telling you, dude, I think Dune is going to be straight up like seriously, like I know Denis Villeneuve's like not all of his films are very accessible. I think Dune's going to be his most accessible film yet.
Me too.
I think it's going to be like the Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars, which if that's seriously what they can do.
Be.
Dude, if they do that, I'll shit my fucking pants. But I think I'm with you. I'm very happy they actually dated Wonder Woman. But I also think they dated it as to say, fuck you, Black Widow. We want to... You know what I mean? Like, because
no,
there's no way Black Widow comes out before August. There's no way.
Nah, I don't think so either.
I think
unless they find some date in July, which I don't think they will. But
unless they move back Jungle Cruise. They could move Jungle Cruise back. They can move... But at the same time, I don't think they will because you have Ghostbusters, Tenet, Jungle Cruise, Morbius... I could see them maybe doing the end of June now, since, again, but at the same time with this virus thing, I don't know. For me, I think Black Widow would be the perfect film to be the first film to be in theaters. I think that would actually get people to leave. To be honest, though, if this was Avengers Endgame, it would get everyone to leave their house.
I agree.
So, but I don't know. There's not that one big film this year that I'm like, oh yeah, if you were to put that out, no matter what, people would go out and see it. So I think Ghostbusters is actually the safest one, to be completely honest.
I agree.
But at the same time, the last Ghostbusters was not popularly loved, so who knows? But it's a tough time. But I definitely think Soul and Top Gun are the next ones to be moved, 100%. Yeah. There's no way they both keep those places. But the hardest movie to see delayed. Which one's that for you?
Oh, for me, it's New Mutants, just because I feel so sorry for it.
Dude, we were this close. Ren, we were this close to seeing it. We were this close.
So close we could almost smell it.
Did you see the director, what he said about New Mutants and Dark Phoenix?
Oh, he said that you can't go any lower than Dark Phoenix. Man,
I feel so. I'm telling you, I think New Mutants is gonna be good. I will bet $100 to anyone that New Mutants will at least be good. I'm not saying great. Yeah. I'm not saying amazing. I actually think I'm gonna love this film. It looks right up my alley, but I think it's gonna be good. Now, I think people do have to take aside some of this stuff that there probably are some issues with certain scenes because it didn't get any reshoots. Given maybe now they can do them, but I think everyone just kind of cut their loss with this fucking movie. To be completely honest with you, I think they're done. I think they're like whatever. I'm telling you this right now. None of them will ever work on a superhero film again. None of them.
Wow.
I don't think Anya Taylor-Joy will. I don't think Arya will. I don't think any of them do. I think that's like they're just fuck that. I'm never going back to that. Especially Biehn, man. Biehn will never go. I think the MCU maybe I could see him working in, just because they're proving a better track record of keeping stuff in line. But yeah, dude, and I'm sure he understood the delay. Like
this one at least.
Yeah. I'm happy though, and I hate when people are like, just put it on Disney Plus. Just put it on Disney. Fuck you. I want to see it in the theaters. Like I don't want this thing. So, for me, the hardest movie to see delayed. You said A Quiet Place, or not A Quiet Place. You said New Mutants. So I'm gonna go a little bit different. A Quiet Place for me, man. I was literally like,
I knew you were gonna say that.
2 days away from seeing it. I mean, Mulan was even pretty close too, because I was 4 days away from seeing that one. I was so excited for A Quiet Place. I was so excited. And I just, it all got pushed back. I mean, Black Widow would be the obvious one as well, or Wonder Woman. I even told you, I think Wonder Woman was the one that I saw, and I'm like, fuck. Damn. That's really sad. But I think A Quiet Place, just because of how close it was. And I'm like, I was close, Ren. I was like literally this close. It sucks, man. It sucks. And The Green Knight. The Green Knight's another one, because I had, dude, I was so excited because South by Southwest was coming up, and I don't know how London Film Festival works, but do you know about is it ticket system out there? Is there press screening? I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, there's both. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like asking for tickets for South by, because I never get luck with tickets. And I got a ticket for The Green Knight. Because one of the reps from A24 remembered one of my reviews, and she's like, oh, I'll hook you up. And so she said she was going to get me one, and I'm just like, oh, my God, the first ticket I'm ever going to have is for The Green Knight. That's so cool. And I'll push back, so fuck you. Fuck you, coronavirus. What do you think is the best film of 2020 so far, though, Ren?
Well, you're going to hate me a little bit, but to me, the best movie of 2020 so far is a movie that I have not uploaded my review for because it has been delayed. No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can say it. You can say it.
I know I can. I'm just making the build up. for the payoff to be bigger. So my favorite film of 2020 so far is A Quiet Place Part 2.
I fucking hate it so much.
So, okay, let me just remind anyone that might be listening or watching. I saw this film on March 5th, 2 days before my birthday. It was a screening that you go to that they have cameras inside and they film you and they film your reactions for them to make those commercials that you see people jumping in their seat and getting scared because of the movie to promote it. Now, I don't know if they're going to use that because they're going to need to make new commercials, I guess.
I think they still will. All the marketing done for that movie. Yeah. To be honest, if any big movie hits the VOD, I think A Quiet Place 2 will be the first one to test the streams. I hope not, though. I really hope not. But yeah, man, I'm so fucking jealous of you. I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah. So I'm only saying this because now that it has been delayed, I'm sure the embargo is fucked up and doesn't exist anymore. My review. Let me see if I can show you. Something. Where do I show you? What do I do to show you my desktop?
I don't know. I don't even see the button right now.
View.
Oh, it's in more options and then it says share screen.
Okay.
And for our audio listening only, Ren is going to show me a porno right now.
Where? I see more options. Oh, share screen. It wasn't showing up in the... Okay. So I'm going to show you. It's right here. Do you see it? I'm just opening it up. Look at the title right there. A Quiet Place Part 2. And it's just here. It's sitting here on my desktop.
See, I have that same problem on mine. I saw that Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. And I was allowed to put my review up on Monday.
Yeah.
Last week. Well, they delayed it 2 days before. Because every theater fucking closed. Drive-in theaters are still open, though. So that's cool out here. We have one drive-in theater. That's pretty cool.
Oh, man, I wish I had drive-ins here.
Dude, they're so cool. They're so cool. I saw the one out here, they do, like, double features for everyone. So the last one I saw was Last Jedi and Coco there, back-to-back.
Oh, wow.
But Last Jedi was so cool in there because the stars roll out, and then when it came out the opening crawl, dude, it was literally one of the coolest things I've ever seen. If you can go into a drive-in theater, you freaking should. Like, prep yourself, make yourself comfortable, go see a movie in a drive-in theater. My friend went and saw Invisible Man and said it was so good at a drive-in. So, talking about the next question, what do you think is the best movie of 2020? You said A Quiet Place Part 2. If it wasn't that, what else would it be? I'm curious.
Onward.
Okay.
My second one.
Good choice. Yeah. So for me, I don't know if it's fair. So my favorite film of the year is a Sundance film, which is 9 Days. I loved 9 Days. But if I'm not going with Sundance, it would probably be The Invisible Man. Just because a lot of my top 10 is Sundance movies that will probably most likely maybe come out this year.
Hopefully.
Or next year. Yeah, who knows? But and then honestly, I want to give a shout out to Bad Boys for Life. I'm sorry, but that movie was such a big surprise. I went into that movie thinking this is gonna be such garbage, and I walked out going, "Why is this the best Bad Boys movie yet?" Like, are you kidding me? And I loved it, dude. I loved it. I cannot wait to buy that movie. I cannot wait to buy that movie and rewatch it. I think some of this stuff with Will Smith's character is a little dumb, but I kind of dug it. And I love Martin Lawrence in it. So I want to give a shout out to that. What is the worst movie of 2020 you've seen so far?
Oh, The Turning. 100%.
See, I skipped it. I said, tell me the ending for this. I heard the ending's terrible, and then I saw on the Blu-ray copy it said extended edition ending.
To remember, what's the ending? Because this film is completely unfinished. The whole
that's what I heard.
Feels like it's the first act, and then it just ends. I don't even.
See, for me, the worst film I've seen this year is The Grudge. That new Grudge film was so bad.
That one is not the worst for me, only because it's absolutely hilarious. I love watching that movie.
Oh my god. Okay, let's just talk the ending real fast. Oh my god. So I think me and my friend gave up on the movie after the nurse leaves the house in the beginning and the thing go. We both turned to each other and said, we already know we're gonna hate this. So the scene where she goes and burns down the house, blah blah blah, I'm like, this is too happy. And I'll say this, I actually really like the last shot of the movie. I like the thought of what that last shot's supposed to be. But I hate the execution. Like, her kid leaves, she's hugging some other kid, thing starts dragging her, ends. Just like that. I also think the marketing was terrible for that movie. The way that it marketed, like, John Chow is going to be our main character. You're a liar. Liar.
There were way too many characters in that film.
Dude, way too many. So bad. So bad. I mean,
to me, the most hilarious part of that film is when Jackie Weaver comes in and she's the nurse for this old lady, for Lin Shaye, as she's cookie in the head.
Lin Shaye was actually really good in that movie. Lin Shaye is actually really good in that movie.
And so Jackie Weaver sees, I don't remember the actor's name now. It's William something.
Yeah, the guy.
He's standing outside looking, and she's like, oh, there's a man standing outside. And the dude in the house just says, oh, he's been here since the accident happened in this house. And Jackie Weaver delivers the most sitcom-like line delivery in this film possible. She's all
could have had a laugh track.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it's not a murder. And I lost it. Me and my friends, I was watching with 3 friends. We absolutely lost it, and the whole entire theater started laughing. Because, as you said, the only thing that was missing was a laugh track behind it. It was so frigging hilarious.
I wish I would have had that theater, because my theater was completely dead. It was literally just me and my friend.
Oh, okay.
So it sucked, because, like, we were laughing, but, like, I think the last time that ever happened to me where, like, a theater laughed out loud was Slender Man. Oh my fucking god, dude. That movie was not just boring, it was laughable. I fell asleep through that movie, and I would wake up the people laughing, and then I would start laughing. That movie is so fucking bad. It was so bad. There's nothing better than a comedy than a bad horror film.
Yes.
And also, can I say this? This might be controversial. I think The Exorcist is hilarious. Dude, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a very well-made movie, but I think it's super dated, and I think it's hilarious. I think it's so I think it's still terrifying at moments, but dude, like, the first time I watched that, everyone had built it up, and me and my friend were watching it, and I just remember she had even told me, this is so scary, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I was making fun of this thing so hard. Like, when she goes, like, shh, with the cross, fucking lost it. Crawls down the stairs backward, died. I died laughing.
Oh my god. You're breaking my heart.
I know.
That's my favorite horror film.
I know. I'm sorry, Ren. I'm sorry. I love the movie. But let's move on to this next question, man. Right. We are taking our time with these things.
We really are.
We might not be able. I don't think we'll. Do you think we'll get to the main topic?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, you don't gotta go anywhere today, neither do I.
No, that's true. I look outside, I think the apocalypse is happening, so.
Yeah. So we're good here. All right, the next question comes from Colby Porter, and the first question from him is, who are some actors you want to see in the MCU? I'd love to see Mark Wahlberg in the universe, hopefully as the Thing in Fantastic Four. That's a good casting. And speaking of Fantastic Four, I'm going to get the very obvious expected answers out of the way. Yes, I want to see John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, and John Krasinski directs the Fantastic Four movie.
So
that's it.
So I'm with you on the first two. I don't want him to direct it, though.
You don't want him to direct it?
I mean, if he got announced, I wouldn't be, like, totally against it.
Okay.
I mean, he would do a really good job. Personally, I really want the Ant-Man director to do it. He's talked about doing a Fantastic Four film forever. Or, was it Brad Bird who was rumored a while ago? Yeah. I think it was Brad Bird that was rumored a while ago. I would love if Brad Bird did. I mean, he's already pretty much done one. But I'm with you with those two actors. For sure, I would want them. Now, who would you want as the Thing and Human Torch?
That's the Thing. No pun intended. I like Colby's choice of Mark Wahlberg, but to me, the Thing would be John Boyega. And
I love that choice.
And the Human Torch, since he's going to be in the same universe as Spider-Man, let's bring that friendship that they have in the comics into this universe. To play the Human Torch, Lucas Hedges, and I'm even going to one-up you. I would love John Krasinski to direct, but I don't need him to be the director they go with. Let's bring an old director back, a director that was supposed to direct an MCU movie and didn't end up doing it, but he'd be freaking amazing for this because it's so out there. Edgar Wright directs a fantastic movie.
I'm so for that. So I want to change the Human Torch. I love the Lucas Hedges choice, but I would want them to go a little bit older.
Okay.
I have two. Billy Magnuson, I think, would kill the role as the Human Torch. Or Zac Efron. I think it's time for so I either want them both to be Human Torch, or if I'm doing a DC fan casting, Booster Gold.
Oh, okay.
I think both of them would fit perfectly in there, but yeah, I love your choice. John Boyega is the Thing. I want that now. He would even be good, dude. He would even be good as the Human Torch as well. Yeah. You could switch any of them around, but I love that choice. The thing about Doom. Who do you want for Doom?
For Doom, Matt Smith.
I don't disagree. I don't love that choice, but I want Toby Kebbell. I think he would have been so good. I know he was already some version of it. He would have been so good. For me, it's Mads Mikkelsen. I know he's already been in it, but
oh yeah. Oh dude, man, too bad he can't be.
I know, that's the thing. He would have been. I mean, they've reused actors. They could, but if we're going with I think he would be amazing, dude. I think he'd be amazing. Also, Jamie from Game of Thrones would be amazing.
As Dr. Doom. Okay.
Yes, and Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender would be really good as Dr. Doom. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah, my friend always wants Cillian Murphy. He always wants Cillian.
He'd be good. He'd be really good as well. I'd go with Ray Fiennes as well.
Dude, Ray Fiennes would be so good because Doom is I'm telling you right now, I think after Phase 4, Phase 5 is going to set up the next big villain. I think Doom will be the next big villain.
You think so? I think I don't fully disagree with you.
Kang the Conqueror. I think that's the other one that they could possibly go with.
I think you're not wrong when it comes to Doom, but I think they're gonna disguise it somehow. We're gonna have Doom there constantly, but they're going to build up let's say Kang or Galactus as a big villain, but it's going to turn out that Doom is the even bigger villain after that.
See, I think Galactus is Endgame. I think that's the next Endgame.
Yeah. Who do you want to play Galactus?
Oh, God.
It will be mostly just voice, I hope. But
Josh Brolin did a lot of mocap. That's the difference. He did a lot of mocap. Sure. Personally, for me, I think the best way to do Galactus is you could do the same actor who does Silver Surfer. You could have because it's mocap for that, and then you could do his voice as well. I think it'd be cool to have an actor be able to do both of those because they're so intertwined and connected to each other. Yeah. For me though, if I was gonna go Galactus, I would really want Jeffrey Wright.
Oh yeah,
I'd really want him as Jeffrey Wright.
But he's already the Watcher.
Yeah, but is it canon? Is it not? Is What If gonna? I don't know. I'm still kind of iffy on that show. I think it looks really cool. I think it's a cool idea, but kind of still iffy on that show the more I think about it. I really wanted him to be something else in this universe, to be completely I really wanted him to be Professor X, to be completely honest with you.
So who would you cast as the Silver Surfer then?
Keanu Reeves.
Wow, really?
I think it's a role that he could do. And that's not saying I think it's perfectly made for him. I really think it's perfectly made for him.
Okay,
the only other role I would love to see Keanu in, though, is Ghost Rider.
That would be cool. That would be really, really cool. But but Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I hate every other Ghost Rider that ever existed.
I
Johnny
agree.
Cage, not Johnny Cage, Johnny Blaze. That's the one. Okay, so to me, I would go. So Matt Smith as Doctor Doom, Peter Capaldi as the voice of Galactus, or
that would be good.
Or Bryan Cranston as the voice of Galactus.
Never mind. Fuck it. Bryan Cranston as Galactus. That's what I want. Done deal. Dude. You know how big of a Spider-Man fan I am. I really want the Sinister Six to be a big part in this universe. I don't think they will be, which really sucks because I was really hoping Norman Osborn would be in this whole world. Which, after you're done, I want to give my fan casting for Norman. I have a big actor I really want for Norman.
Me too. But for Silver Surfer, I would go either Dan Stevens, which is a very obvious choice, but I think he really, really fits, or David Oyelowo. Two very different choices.
I love both of those. I love David. I like the David Oyelowo shows. I just rewatched. What did I just rewatch? And he was in. I was like, oh shit, this is like one of the first things I ever noticed him in. What did I just watch? What the fuck did I just watch? I have to look it up. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed if I can't remember it. What movie did I watch that David Oyelowo was in?
Was it Selma?
Oh, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, he's the boss, the scientist boss douchebag. Yeah.
Now, real fast before we get to the next question, my fan casting for Norman Osborn would be Matthew McConaughey.
Same. Exactly same.
I actually think he will be him.
Oh, okay.
I actually think he will be him. To be honest, every time an end credit scene comes up for Spider-Man, I'm like, Norman. I remember for Far From Home, I'm like, my friend told me, dude, it's a huge end credit scene. It's amazing. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, Norman. Me and both my friend in the theater. Norman. And then JJ came up and we were like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it, sir. I will take that. It's right there. I love that choice though. I love that choice, and I'm so excited for the MCU. I've not hated any of their casting. That's just the truth. I know some people will be like, what about Captain Marvel? Fuck you. Brie Larson's actually really good in that role. She plays Captain Marvel. Literally, like you could say whatever you want about the film. I thought she was great in Endgame, though. She was awesome. She was. So, the next one from Colby Porter is most underrated and overrated movie of the 2010s. For me, it's Walter Mitty for underrated and Boyhood for overrated.
I agree with this overrated, though. That's not my pick.
Yeah, I agree, too. I think Boyhood is overrated as well. I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. It gets the love because of how it was made.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think there's more artistry in the making of it rather than the movie itself.
Yeah. Now, what about underrated and all that stuff?
Okay. For underrated, do you? Because I have two, and I'll tell you why I have two. Because, of course, one of them immediately popped into my head, and it's one movie that I have in my top 10 of all time. It's a movie that I believe is severely underrated. But then another movie popped in my head, and I don't know if underrated is the correct word, because everyone that has seen this film either likes it or loves it, but it hasn't been seen by that many people. Okay. And I want to bring it to everyone's attention. This film, I'm going to mention that second one that popped in my head, that one that everyone who has seen it loves it, but not a lot of people have seen it. It is on Netflix over here in the UK right now. It was my number one film of 2016 until I saw
it's Uncut Gems. It's Uncut Gems.
No. Though I could have picked that for overrated. That one didn't pop in my head, but it's not that. For underrated, one of my picks is the amazing, the beautiful Captain Fantastic, starring Viggo Mortensen.
Dude, that movie is so good.
It is, right? Right?
Mm-hmm. I love that movie. My dad told me to watch that, and he doesn't watch any movies, and he saw that before me, and he loved it. So yeah, great choice on that.
So you got to watch this film. It's beautiful. It's about family. It's this guy who has lost his wife, and he's going to her funeral, and he's raising his 6 or 7 kids in the woods. The older son is played by George Mackay from 1917, so there's another reason for you to watch it. And it's just a beautiful film. It's funny. It's charming. It's got a lot of heart. I was in tears, both from happiness and sadness throughout this film. Again, my favorite film of 2016 until I saw La La Land. Viggo Mortensen probably could have won the Oscar for Best Actor that year. Just an awesome movie. Okay, before I say my other underrated, what is yours, Zach?
So we're going underrated, right?
Yeah.
So I actually have 5, if that's okay.
Wow.
I have 5. First is Spotlight. I know it won Best Picture. Not enough people talk about that movie. That movie is so freaking brilliant. 2, Prisoners. Very, very underrated when I think of Denis Villeneuve. Silence.
Yes.
Enemy. Love Enemy.
But Enemy, I understand that it's not for everyone.
No, I guess that would actually be a hidden gem, to be honest, for me. I think that movie is a masterpiece, to be completely honest with you. And then the last one, I'm tied between which one I want to pick, but I'm just going to say both, so I guess I have 2 more. Moonrise Kingdom is Wes Anderson's most underrated movie, I think. It's also probably top 2 for me. And Under the Skin. Not enough people talk about Under the Skin. That was the movie that proved to me that Scarlett Johansson is more than just an actress for Black Widow. I guess that's the best way I could phrase it.
Yeah, Under the Skin is, but that one is really good. I didn't know what to think of that one the first time I saw it.
So rated.
They're really great choices, man. Okay, my next and final underrated, and it's one that if you know me, you're completely expecting it. Now you're going to tell me, once I say the name, you're going to tell me if you were right or wrong. To me, it's one of the most underrated movies of all time. Man of Steel, 2013, the masterpiece of the comic book genre about Superman. I love this film. This is one of the films I talk about the most.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay. Can I ask you, is one of your overrated films Mad Max? Because I know we've discussed it. That was also what was in my mind.
God damn it, you revealed it now.
I knew. Literally the second I read overrated, I'm like, Ren's going to say Mad Max. I already fucking know it.
Yes, but we'll get to that. Yeah. Okay, so Man of Steel, I love this film. And I don't know if this is general knowledge even for you or for people who follow me for a while. I didn't love this film the first time I saw it.
That's how I felt, too. That's how I felt.
I saw it the first time. I was with 2 friends, and we were super excited to see a Superman movie, and the trailers looked awesome. And then I left the film, and I was like, I like that, but I didn't think it was great. And then I went back to see it another time. I felt exactly the same. So then I stopped watching it. I waited. It had a video release around Christmas back in my home country, and I got this collector's edition, which is basically the Superman symbol. And when I watched it at home, suddenly the first half of that film completely hit me in a different way and a better way. I have loved that film ever since I own it, which is a good thing, I guess. But to me, it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. It's in my top 10 of all time.
I agree with you.
I love this film.
I think it's the best Superman film ever created.
For sure.
And I also, Henry Cavill is my Superman personally. I know everyone loves Christopher Reeve, but he embodied Superman so well. So I'm with you on that. Are you ready for my overrated films?
Yes.
So one of these I want to preface that I didn't get to see this in theaters, so I think that's a major part to why I think it's overrated. The first one's Gravity. I think Gravity is very overrated, and I think a lot of it's because I saw it at home after the hype. The other one that I think is overrated is Phantom Thread. I need to see this film again, though, because I did a triple feature this day. I saw Call Me By Your Name first, Darkest Hour, then Phantom Thread. Oh, wow. Because I wanted to catch up on all the Oscar films. And I'll tell you this, loved Call Me By Your Name, thought Darkest Hour was good, didn't really like Phantom Thread. And I think a lot of it is because I was just tired and was just really ready to go home. But it's not that I hate the movie or dislike it. I just don't get the hype around it. I think it's like one of PTA's Like I think it's one of his best made films, but it's one of my least favorites from him.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, not terrible, not terrible. Just I thought it was just good, and everyone thinks it's amazing, and I don't, sadly.
I'll say this: out of those three that you watched, I think Phantom Thread is the worst out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a movie that I loved. I remember I went to see it right before the Oscars. I went to see it with 4 or 5 friends. I was the one person in the group that loved that film. Mm-hmm. I was the one person that got what that film was doing. And I own it on Blu-ray. I haven't seen it since, to be honest, but I really love that film. But I can't, given the circumstances that you watched it with, you just went through 2 movies, you were tired. It's not the best.
It's a movie I need, and I'll remit. I need to see it again. Another one I thought was overrated real fast is Fences. I did not like Fences at all. I thought Fences was complete. Dude, I thought the performances were great in there, but I hated everything. I really did not like that movie. That is a movie that I remember I saw with a friend who was so excited about it, and I remember he loved it, and I walked out. I'm like, dude, I did not like that movie at all. I thought Viola Davis was incredible. I thought everything else I just could not get into. And I know I'm in the vast minority on that one, but I just did not like that movie.
Okay. Since you ruined my pick, which was Mad Max Fury Road, which, by the way, I always feel like I need to preface this. I think Mad Max Fury Road is overrated, but it's a movie I really like. I own a steelbook of it. It's a really cool steelbook, and I watch that film all the time, honestly. But now I have a list here. So let's go through this list, and I'll pick a few ones. Boyhood is really overrated. I think, and I think you're going to hate me for this, and you're probably not going to be the only one. Room, starring Brie Larson, is overrated.
So, can I be honest? I don't hate you for that, even though I love the movie. Yeah. There are many people I've showed that movie to, and they just don't hit the same way. Did you see it in theaters, by any chance?
Now that you're asking that, I don't remember if I saw it in theaters.
So
I've
noticed a lot of people who didn't see it in theaters don't love it, but a lot of people who see it at home kind of just think, oh, it's good. You know what I mean? It's good. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know why that is, but every single person I've shown it at home just didn't like that movie.
Okay, the next one I'm going to mention is one that I think is overrated, but I don't like it all that much. I think it's okay. It has its charm because of how it was made in the era that it was made in. The Artist. The Artist is one of the most overrated films of all time.
I agree. Cool movie, but I agree.
It's just
That was like the weakest year for Oscar Best Picture nominations.
Yeah. It really was. Okay, another one that's overrated, and this one I'm going to say The Master is overrated.
I still haven't seen it.
And the final one, I'm going to leave this one right here to burn this whole place to the ground. Hereditary is super overrated.
Dude, I want you to know my girlfriend would so agree with you. She'd be laughing her ass off. She's going to laugh her ass off when she listens to this. Because so I don't know if I know I've told this on I think me and Cody's podcast when we were doing it. So when Hereditary came out, I saw that movie like 3 weeks early, and I hyped the fucking shit out of that movie to everyone at my job and to all my friends and to everyone I knew. I was like, dude, this movie is so cool. You all gotta go see Hereditary like right now. So a group of my friends I was supposed to go with, I didn't go with, all went to see the movie without me because they wanted to go see it at 10. It's like a 2.5 hour movie. I wasn't going to make it through it. I was tired. I wake up at 2 a.m. to a bunch of text messages saying, you fucking idiot. That movie fucking was terrible. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Dude, Dude, they hated the movie. And I get, you know what? I get why. I think Midsummer's a better movie, to be completely honest. I think Midsummer's a way better film. Especially the director's cut. I think the director's cut's perfect.
I haven't seen the director's cut yet.
Dude, if you ever can. I know in Europe, it's very easy to find. Out here,
I know, it's literally the director's cut is on Amazon Prime over here.
Yeah, over here, no. I had to buy a copy from France. Well, because I bought this really cool copy because I wanted it because I love the movie. Yeah. But yeah, so dude, you know what? Every person, the general going audience hates Hereditary. That's just an undeniable statement.
Yeah.
But I feel like that film got way too much hype. True. And I feel bad for that film because I think even on a second watch for that movie, it wasn't as scary the second time. It was more traumatic than anything. Yeah. And I think that's what the film is a straight up drama with horror elements. And I know A24 does that with a lot of their films where it's a drama, but we're going to make it a horror film. And I get that because some dramas are horror. So, but yeah, I honestly, I'm not mad at you for that. I get why.
But I'll say this, the first time, so I think it came out over here like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after it came out wide in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So I had heard generally, I tried to avoid it, but I heard that everyone was loving it. And for like the first hour of that film, I saw it. I saw what everyone else was seeing, you know? But then when
I didn't like the ending. I hated the ending.
Yeah, I hate the ending. When the horror elements came in, when they unfolded, when they were revealed, I thought, this is the most familiar thing I've ever seen, you know? It's well shot, it's well directed, but the meat in that film, it's just, everyone was saying this is so new, so innovative, and I was like, we literally seen this 1,000 times in horror.
So I'll say this, when it gets to him jumping out the window, should have ended right there. Should have ended right there. When it got into the treehouse, that's when it started losing me. That's when I was like, I don't like this part.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with what you're saying. Now, we also do have one more question from Colby Porter.
We do.
It is controversial MCU opinions.
I think you and I have the same one.
You say yours. I think we'll have it.
Okay. Thor Ragnarok is not great.
No. It's I will say this. It is entertaining.
Yes.
It just doesn't. I don't think it fits at all into the MCU.
Me neither.
At all. And I think a lot of that is because the movie is improvised.
I think it contradicts a lot of Thor. And I'm not saying this because I'm a fan of the comics. Look, if this was the first Thor movie, I would be all on board with it.
Which I will say, what they do with him in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yes.
Works a lot. But I think, it contradicts Ragnarok a lot. That's why I'm hoping Love and Thunder, and this is why I'm more hopeful, is because Taika's actually writing the script this time around. Yes. He's getting, he is coming in, from the start, not, the middle of the process. Yes. And I have a feeling this will be more of his vision, because every other Taika film is perfect. I love him. I love all of his other films but Thor Ragnarok. And I think a lot of it is because he came in the middle and it was he's trying to do his own thing, but he's also trying to fit their stuff. I think for this one, I don't think he would have came back if it wasn't you can do whatever you want type thing.
I agree.
So I think we're going to get a bigger thing. Other controversial pick is Iron Man 3's top 10 MCU film. Sorry.
Oh, I can't agree with that one.
So, dude, I think it's so good. I love Iron Man 3. Also, the first Avengers. You want me to keep throwing these out? First Avengers, my least favorite. My least favorite. I know you love it, but it's my least favorite.
It's my second favorite film of all time.
I know, and I get it. I think part of it is I saw that film 12 times in theaters.
Me too.
So yeah, but I think for me, I would rather watch Infinity War and Endgame over the first Avengers. It's so slow to me. It's what's funny though? If someone were to ask me what a classic film is in this era of film, I would say the first Avengers is a classic movie.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a classic movie. Let me see. What else other controversial picks can I put out there? I don't get the problems with Black Panther's third act, so you can fuck off, everyone. Ant-Man is amazing.
But I don't agree. I mean,
yeah.
I get the problems, but they don't bother me.
Yeah, same. The first two Ant-Man films, love them both, 1 and 2. I think they're both really fun. Doctor Strange is underrated.
Yes. The first Captain America is underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better the more time you watch.
Civil War is overrated. I think Civil War is a good movie, but I think on rewatches that I just think it doesn't add that much depth to the fights other than Tony and Cap. That film on rewatches, lost my luster a little bit. I don't know what it was, but the last time I watched it, I didn't fall in love with it.
Oh my god, I think that one is.
What's your top five? What's your top five right now?
Endgame, Avengers, Civil War, Infinity War, and Winter Soldier.
Okay, so my top five is Guardians. I think Guardians is the best MCU film. I've watched that film thousands of times. Spider-Man Far From Home. I love that movie.
Okay. Me too.
Avengers Infinity War. Black Panther. And probably Captain America Winter Soldier.
Okay. I'll say this. Another controversial MCU opinion. Guardians 1 is overrated.
Fuck you.
It's true.
I'll also say this. Guardians 2 is not overrated. I think it's good.
Me too.
I think so many people shit on that movie, and I don't get why. The only thing I get is there is too much humor with Drax. That's the one complaint I will understand.
I don't think the problem is that he gets too much humor. I think the problem is that he only gets humor, and he doesn't get any action scenes besides
he's not the Destroyer.
Yeah. I'll say also that Age of Ultron is severely underrated.
I agree. Besides the Thor bathtub stuff, that movie's honestly, can I just say this controversial MCU opinion? Martin Scorsese, I know you don't think it's cinema. It is cinema. I'm sorry, like there is not a bad MCU movie.
I agree.
There's not one bad MCU movie.
The worst MCU movie to me is Iron Man 2, and I get still a lot of enjoyment out of that one.
Honestly, the least two for me is the first two Thors. I don't ever care to rewatch them. I'm sorry.
I'll say this as well. Thor 1 is severely underrated as well.
I can't agree with that one. All right, let's move on to the last one. Nathan Hoy, would you rank the Jurassic Parks as one of the most important movies ever made, up there with classics because of its influences on CGI, and why do you feel that way? Nathan, yes.
I agree. Yes as well, because of the not only the influence on CGI, but the way Spielberg decided to tell a story by mixing CGI with practical effects.
Yep.
The wide shots with CGI, the close-ups and mid-shots with practical effects, that giant T-Rex head, and the way he brings it all together, that helps push these kind of movies forward. And I'd say at least top 10 most important movies ever made.
By the way, breaking news. Blockbusters that are now China has now officially opened up all their theaters, and as they're starting to reopen, they will have a Harry Potter marathon pushed back in there. Oh. But also blockbusters that will be re-released: Avatar, films, Inception, and Interstellar. I'm telling you right now, I hope they do that out here, dude. I would kill to see Inception, Interstellar, and Avatar again on the big screen.
Me too. Me too.
Awesome. That is awesome news, man. I'm so happy to hear that.
You know what? This one will be just a surprise. It's not controversial or anything, but now that you brought it up, I never did see, and our friend Griffin Schiller is probably going to kill me. I never did see Inception in cinemas.
Oh, you didn't? You've seen it though, right? You've seen it.
Yeah, it's my favorite Nolan movie. I love it, but I didn't catch it in theaters. I don't remember why, to be honest, but I remember I didn't catch it.
So, I never saw Interstellar in theaters.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that one.
So that's the one,
and Inception too. But
there was a time in my life where I didn't. The only way I could go to the movies is my grandma. Like if I could convince my grandma to see it, which is shocking because I've convinced her to see Tropic Thunder. I don't ask how I did that. Tell you, it was a very awkward time in my life. I love the movie though. But I could not get her on board with Interstellar. I couldn't get her on board with Interstellar. So I couldn't get her on board with it, man. So, but yeah, no. And those were all great questions, everyone. So thank you so much for submitting them. Comment down below if you want us to answer some questions. Maybe we'll take some from the comments next week or whenever we do another one. So that'll be fun. Let's actually get into the main topic now. Ren, we got some Star Wars news.
We got some Star Wars news, and they're both good news, thankfully.
Well, I'm going to tell you one. I'm pleasantly surprised about one. I'm over the moon fucking excited about another one.
True.
And I actually have do you remember when Sasha Banks got recruited?
Yeah.
I have a feeling she's Sabine.
Me too, unfortunately. I gotta agree with you.
You don't like that choice?
I don't like it at all.
Why?
Well,
I don't know Sasha Banks, but I've seen what she looks like. I'm going to be honest. I think since Dave Filoni's on board of this, I trust him. I trust him if she is Sabine.
I trust her to be Sabine in like a scene or two in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wrestling guy, for those people who might be watching or listening who don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Sasha Banks as a superstar, but I also really dislike her as a promo person. She is not a good promo in wrestling.
But
therefore, I don't think...
I thought the same about Gina Carano, and then she won me over Mandalorian.
I agree, but Gina Carano, she has tried for a few years now. She was in Haywire. She was in one of the...
Is Sasha Banks still...
she's
still wrestling?
She's going to wrestle at WrestleMania next Sunday.
Oh, with no audience, right?
Yeah. She's active right now, you know? But they're recording WrestleMania, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, do you think she'll be Sabine?
I gotta believe so, you know?
Because we don't know who she is, and it's only one episode. Same with Rosario Dawson well, spoiler. She's going to be Ahsoka, which is fucking insane. I'm sorry, but like, this is the last Clone Wars episode was just fine. But like, seeing Ahsoka was great. She's literally like top 10. I think she's top 10 Star Wars characters of all time. I really think she's top 10 Star Wars characters. And she was fantastic in Rebels. She was amazing in Rebels. And that ending in Rebels, I was just like, give me more. Where is she going? Yeah. And then we know she dies before Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
So where is she at? You know? Yeah. I'm going to say this. So I think one episode, I think we're going to see the Mandalorian run into her, and he's going to ask her to train Baby Yoda.
Oh.
I think it's going to be part of that. The question I have, though, is do you think she found Ezra yet? And could Thrawn play a major villain in The Mandalorian going forward?
I don't think so. Or at least I hope those stories get separated, because that way we can have probably an Ahsoka show.
So, and that's the thing. That's the other thing. Hollywood Reporter confirmed that they have heard the same thing about that she is playing Ahsoka, but they couldn't get confirmed word about it. But they said that if it's good and people like the response to her, she will get her own spin-off show.
Okay, so people, watch The Mandalorian Season 2 when it comes out. Respond well.
Tweet out, I love Rosario. I think they're going to. They're going to do it. Yeah. They're going to do it.
I think she is perfect casting for this character. Like dream casting comes true.
She's been championing this for years.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll say this: I'm over the moon just like you. But this is one character, even though I'm absolutely not against it. This is one character I never wanted necessarily to see in live action.
I always did.
Look, as soon as she was announced, I had the same reaction as you. I was like, fuck yes! Oh my god, Ahsoka is going to be here! But until that, every time someone asked me, do you want to see Ahsoka live action? I was like, not really. I think she fits in animation, and I don't need to see her in live action, you know? But now that she is coming, I'm happy.
Do you remember that news report a little bit after Mandalorian ended that there will be lightsabers in this season? This makes more sense now. This makes. Sure. I think she fights. I think there's two things that happen. She's gonna fight Moff Gideon.
Okay.
Come on, dude. Like.
I hope so too. I think Mandalorian is going to run into them because they know about the Darksaber, and that's how they'll start.
Well, and the last person we knew that had the Darksaber was Sabine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Sabine could be dead for all we know. I don't think Dave Filoni would kill her off screen though.
Me neither.
And that's why I think it's going to be Ahsoka and Sabine in here still looking for Ezra.
Yeah.
And I think, but at the same time, I really could see Thrawn being a Mandalorian villain. Because think about it. It's about the broken ancient remembrance of the Empire. And Thrawn, think about it. If Thrawn were to come back, everything
plays Thrawn.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Fuck, I would want Michael Fassbender, to be completely honest, if I had anyone.
Cumberbatch.
Dude, he'd be so good too. And they could get him. They could get anyone. I mean,
true.
Man, I'm so excited for the future of Mandalorian. And then Michael Biehn, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Michael Biehn.
And who do you think he's playing?
Okay.
And it's also confirmed Burke is back too. Burr is back.
Burr?
Bill Burr.
Oh yeah, Bill Burr.
He's back too.
Okay, so that's...
Because I'm being honest. Boba Fett's in the season 2.
Ooh.
Come on. Dude, the scene on Tatooine with the guy walking up, that's fucking Boba Fett.
Let's hope so.
Or,
okay.
dude, I know they've said they killed Cad Bane off screen. No one's really dead unless you see them. I would rather see Cad Bane show up than Boba Fett. That's just
me too.
Being completely honest.
100%. That's honestly a character I have no curiosity in seeing him in live action. If he shows up, I'm cool with that. But
it's more like I would rather want that to be Cad Bane at the end, especially because of the spurs on the bottom. It would make more sense that it's Cad Bane.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be Boba Fett. It's gonna be Boba Fett.
If you ask me, between either Cad Bane or Boba Fett, Cad Bane. 100 times Cad Bane. I hope so.
He's such a cool character.
Okay, so Michael Biehn, now that you mentioned that Bill Burr is back, I think he's either going to be a new guy working with Bill Burr, or I think he's going to be like an old resistance or rebellion officer, like Cara Dune.
Okay, I think he's playing a Mandalorian.
Really? Okay.
I think he's playing a Mandalorian. I think they're going to dive a lot more. I think, how many episodes was this last one? 10?
8.
8. I think this one's going to be 10.
Okay.
I think this one's going to be longer.
I hope you're right.
I think the episodes will actually, I don't think they'll be an hour. I think they'll be 40 minutes.
I think I
think the big problem with the first season was how short the episodes were.
Yeah. But I think they'll make at least the season premiere and the season finale almost an hour, if not an hour.
I agree. And I think this season will be more structured as a story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the first one was like, we're going all these places, introducing all these main points. A little bit messy in the middle, like as a story structure. But then it finally came all together towards the end. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I really think they're going to say, we're bringing everything in. Let's bring it all in. Let's really adapt it, show that it's in this world. So I think we're getting Boba Fett or Cad Bane. I really hope Cad Bane, but most likely Boba Fett. Because I remember I said that in one of my reviews. Some guy's like, Cad Bane fucking died off screen. Yeah, guess what? People who die off screen come back all the fucking time.
Exactly.
Darth Maul, how many times does he come back? But I think Cad Bane, we're definitely getting Ahsoka. If we didn't get Sabine, I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if we didn't get Sabine, especially since she's a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I think we get Ezra.
I don't think we get Ezra, but I think we might possibly get Bo-Katan.
Who?
Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And she is played by Katie Sackhoff.
You think? Is she in the season?
I don't know, dude, but she's the voice of the character in Rebels and Clone Wars.
Oh, man. You know who else I could see coming back? Rex. Rex survived, right?
True. I mean, but who would you get? Would you get Temuera Morrison to play him?
I'd get her pretty older.
Because like we've seen Jango Fett and all the clones look like him. So now you either get Temuera Morrison or it's going to create a lot of problems.
That is true.
He's not busy.
No. I'm so excited to see what they do, though, man. And I mean, when it comes down to the main topic, I don't know if this is even the main topic anymore, but our Star Wars theories and dreams. I mean, we could go different things. I don't want us to necessarily pitch an idea. I think we could save that for a completely different podcast segment of us pitching our own Star Wars film, because I have my own Star Wars film. I have my own. Yeah. Maybe we do that next time. Maybe we do our own, like the whole thing will just be us pitching Star Wars movies.
Do you want to do a movie or a trilogy?
We can do both. We'll come up with ideas for both. Okay. I have one for a solo like spin-off movie that I think would be so cool. So we'll save that for right here. The director of actually, because I tweeted out a little bit about it a while ago, and I said I want the feel of Hotel. What was the movie? Hotel Mumbai. Hotel Mumbai. Like the intensity of that. Yeah. Oh God, Ren, you got to see that movie, dude. It's so fucking good.
That's the one with Patel and Armie Hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Star Wars theories and dreams. I really want an Old Republic, and I know that's the most obvious thing out there, but I want it as a show. When it comes to the movies, I actually personally would want them to not do any movies for a little bit and honestly just come back and do episode 10.
Wow. Okay.
And I know the thing is I know Oscar Isaac and Poe they're just done. Finn and Poe are done. But like they've talked so much shit about the Star Wars universe. Which kind of makes me sad because I love their characters so much.
True.
But I want a continuation of Rey's story. And that's the truth. I really want a continuation of Rey's story in a more cohesive way. And I've been saying this. I think Favreau and Filoni will end up taking over Lucasfilm.
Really?
Yes, I really do. I think Kathleen Kennedy will always be a producer on them, but I think creatively they're going to take over.
Okay.
So that's one of my theories and thoughts.
Okay. So to me, I will say Old Republic as well, but I'll say this: either a series or a mini series, but I think it can work as a movie, as a trilogy of movies, if you plan it right, as you should plan any trilogy. If you plan it right for a trilogy, 3 2-hour and 20-minute movies, it can work perfectly fine. Here's another one I really want to see. I want to see how it started, how Jedi and Sith started.
I think that's what they were going to do, though.
How did they discover like the dark? Yeah. I think so. They talked about the origin of the Sith, but like I want to see the origin of the dark side and the light side, because those two sides, those two questions, let's say, had to be answered before two organizations were created on both sides, you know? I want to see the first guy to discover the light side and the first guy to discover the dark side. How did that come about?
Do you know what I'm nervous about? I'm nervous that they're going to make a Mandalorian movie.
Oh, no. There's no need.
They'll do 5 seasons and then they'll do one because of how popular it is.
I mean, if the movie is to finish it off, okay, I don't see the necessity for that, but fine. If they do a movie to then have another season and continue the show, that I would hate. I would hate.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think the biggest issue I have, and this is the same thing I have with the DCU, there's no fucking structure. Yeah. The most structured thing about Star Wars right now, I wouldn't even say the shows because they have so many issues it seems behind the scenes still, but
it's the High Republic
cartoons,
thing.
The animation stuff is the most... I've said it in all my Clone Wars reviews. It's my favorite era. Clone Wars is my favorite era because they actually expanded on stuff. Rebels, pretty nearby. Rebels is almost great. Rebels is, it's great. It's great. You know what? We'll just say it's great. I want them to... I think that what the TV shows should explore areas that we haven't explored or explore more during the movie timelines. Mm-hmm. And I think the movies should expand different areas, like you were saying. Explore the back half. Where did this come about? And then maybe take a show about that.
Yeah.
Spin it off into a show. It's the smart... What's the MCU doing? Giving us a movie. Hey, Winter Soldier and Falcon. Well, we can't make a movie about... But we could do a 6-episode show about this.
Yeah. And
expand these characters, and then it ties into the next one. WandaVision. Get your shit together, please. Like Indiana Jones 5. Is this actually going to happen? I don't believe it, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, same.
This Star Wars movie that's supposed to come out in 2022, I'm telling you, it ain't happening. No way. But if it does happen, Deborah Chow will direct it.
Wow. That's bold.
I think Deborah Chow will direct it. Because there's so much talk that they don't have any females directing Star Wars. Not saying that they should go to the only female that's directed Star Wars so far. True. But I have a feeling that's what they'll do to stay safe. And I'm actually with you. I think they're going to go... I think if this book stuff with the Higher Republic goes well, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Which I don't want them to. I don't want them to.
Me too, but I hope they take away from the organization that they have with doing the High Republic.
So the next Star Wars stuff they do you want them to do a trilogy or do you want them to do a spin-off? Like it was just a one-off? Or not even plan for it. Do a one-off, and then if it's successful, do the next one.
Yes, I'd say that, because it really depends on what the one movie coming out first is.
Yeah. Can I be honest? Do you know what I want to see, which will probably never happen at this point? I want to see Rian Johnson's trilogy. I'm not a lover of Last Jedi. I think it's the best. I think it's the best made. I will say this: it is the best made Star Wars film, the best shot Star Wars film, all that. Just for me, I when it comes to rewatches, it's one of my least favorites, especially after what Rise of Skywalker did canonically. It's for me, you don't even need to watch it really anymore. And I will never go against someone who loves that film. But I want to see his trilogy. Want to see his trilogy.
Me too. I agree.
Last Jedi people will go against it. It's one of the most thought-provoking Star Wars movies.
It is.
And at this point, I really wish Stray would have been a no one.
Me too.
Like, the disappointment.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say this? I want Star Wars 1313, the game, back. How dare you guys cancel that? Do you remember that game?
I remember hearing about it.
Dude, it's just so amazing. That one gameplay was amazing.
It looked really cool.
Did you beat Jedi Fallen Order?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I really like that game. Yeah.
I did too. I thought a little bit too much backtracking, but
okay.
I thought the story was perfect. I mean, I loved the new character.
And I love the ending.
Oh, God, the ending with Darth Vader. Dude, I was so pissed. I got spoiled on that.
Really?
I was on YouTube, and it said recommended Darth Vader and Jedi Fallen Order, and it showed him in the thumbnail choking. I'm like, fuck you. You're a dick if that's your thumbnail.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
Was constantly scared.
I forgot to tell you the other fan casting Michael Biehn is rumored to be. Dash Rengdar.
Oh, they're going to make him canon. Okay.
So it's rumored that he could be canon.
Okay, cool.
That was the one I was reading about, and I'm like,
that.
I love that choice. I just remember that right now talking about video games. I don't personally, for me, I don't think it'll happen, but I would love that. Even if it's just a slight thing, it doesn't even have to go into detail about him. It could just his name is Dash Rengdar. He used to work with Mandalorian. Done.
True. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. The last three I want to ask you though, or the last dream. What is something you want to see in The Mandalorian, or the Obi-Wan show, or just in general in a show on Disney Plus that's Star Wars?
Oh, in a show.
It could be in Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, Cassian, or it's something that you could want.
Okay. I'll say this. I would love to see a show not adapting this book, because they can't cut anything out because it's canon, but a story like Lost Stars.
Yes.
I would love to see a show with that. Like, don't even
They could do it. They could do it. Yeah. They just have to exactly make the book.
Yeah, but even then, I prefer that they do something else. But like this story, see someone on the light side, see someone on the dark side, see the let's say not even a love story, but a friendship that they constantly remember the other one while they're on the battle. I would love to see a story that shows both sides like that.
So I have two dreams.
Okay.
Right? The first dream is I love Star Wars animation. I want them to do a Kylo Ren young Ben Solo. I know they have this comic book series, but do an animated version of it.
Okay.
The other one I want a Solo sequel on Disney Plus, but through is her name Kira and Darth Maul.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's exactly what I would want. I don't care if Solo shows up. I don't care if Chewbacca shows up. I don't even care if Solo or Glover shows up as
Lando.
I don't care. I just think that is I'm a defender of Solo. I think Solo is underrated. To be completely honest, I don't get the hate for it. I even think L3 is a cool droid. Sorry. That one I don't get the hate. I don't get the hate.
Dude, it's so abrasive.
I guess, but whatever. But
we both like Solo.
I loved. Do you want to hear a controversial Star Wars opinion? That movie is more gritty than Rogue One.
Oh wow!
It has a more gritty war sequence in the beginning of the film than anything in Rogue One. Boots to the ground, in the mud. Come on.
I don't agree with that, but
bro, how could you not? It's all gritty. They're literally going through the mud.
But it's one scene. The whole of Rogue One, on the other hand, is gritty and brutal.
The two grittiest moments in there is Darth Vader and when Cassian kills his person.
No, in the first scene.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty fucked up. I don't know. I just think Solo's like I love how it went into like the mobster world. Like that's what I like about. I want more from that. So Lucasfilm, get your shit together. You literally have so much potential here, man.
You have all the tools.
I know. You have so much potential. One last thing I want to bring up. This has nothing to do with Star Wars. It's just something that popped in my head, and I kept forgetting to ask you. Are you a fan of Metal Gear Solid?
No, that never was my type of game.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you about what you're like. So some stuff came out about Sony that apparently they're not happy with Death Stranding and the sales that this came out like last night. Okay. But they were not happy about Death Stranding sales, and they were not happy with the direction that he took because the way he pitched it was to be more of a horror game, and he made it more of a delivery game. And so now it's rumored that they're trying to buy the rights to Metal Gear and Silent Hill to and then put him on it to make the PT game that he didn't get to make. I wanted to ask what your thoughts on that. Is that something that would excite you if he came back? Because I don't know if you ever played PT.
I don't think so. What is PT? Because I'm blanking.
So it was a playable teaser. That's what it started.
Okay.
It was on the PS4. You can't download it anymore. You can look it up on YouTube. But they announced the Silent Hill game at E3 and said, today, this demo we just showed you is on the PS4 for you to go play. And it's one of the scariest things I've ever played. Atmospheric and everything. But Heido was making it with Del Toro and Norman Reedus.
Wow. Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Oh, my God. When we're done, you got to go look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, PT Silent Hill. It is terrifying.
Oh, Silent Hills.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I've heard of this.
So, and then the game got canceled after he left the company.
Okay. So will they make this into a movie?
No, that they'll make it into a game.
Oh.
So, and I don't know. I don't know. I want it. I want more Silent Hill. I think that's untapped potential right there, man. Also, do we knight any of the stuff?
I mean, we knight the questions. I knight
Ahsoka. I
knight Ahsoka. I knight Michael Biehn. I send movies being delayed to the dungeon. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm so tired, dude. I'm telling you, every single time I see a news article about it, I see it and I'm like, I'm so sad.
But I also knight that I did get to see A Quiet Place Part 2 already. I'm sorry. I'm just.
All right, we're done there. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. This was a great episode. Ren, take us out.
All right. Thank you so much for doing another episode with me again, Zach. Thank you so much, everyone who might be watching or listening. Check out Jared and Rachel's links in the comments below and let us know your answers to the questions that we answered here today. We might be doing more of these soon. Zach, until the next episode, my brother, where can the people find you and what are you doing for the rest of your birthday?
Oh, man. Where you guys can find me is right here on YouTube at Zach Pope. If you're listening to us on audio, thank you so much. Make sure to leave us a rating, as well as hit that like and subscribe button over on Ren's channel and the like button on this podcast. Share it if you must. We love talking stuff, and if you have any questions, make sure to hit us down below. For my birthday, I will probably be putting more hours into Delivery Simulator, Death Stranding, because I need to beat it. It's a pretty agonizing way to do my birthday, but I like to punish myself, you know? So, yeah. But thank you so much, Ren. I'm so happy we get to do this, and it's just so much fun to be able to collab each week. We will be having guests soon, right? We're thinking about bringing guests in very soon. Still testing the waters, making sure the podcast is all good, and then getting to there.
Yeah, especially now in quarantine, we've got to get guests while they can't leave the house anyway, so they might as well be on our podcast. Again, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day celebrating your birthday. And you guys can find me everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Ren Geekness. As Zach said, leave us a rating if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, and subscribe over here to the channel. Thank you so much for watching another episode. And so until the next one, love each other and love the movies.